will play great defense here. It is going to happen. There's not a reason in the world why it can't. We'll continue to take the steps that we have to do it, and we're going to be very aggressive that way.
Welcome to the Put On Waivers Media Group, home of the Put On Raiders podcast and the Student Body Right podcast. This is your place for the best breakdowns and the best insight for those who fight on and bleed silver and black. Now, here are your hosts, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes.
Back to the latest episode of the Student Body Right USC podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, and as always, I am podcasting off the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean, beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSBR is my Twitter handle, and I have a special guest on our show today, so we'll get to him in just quite a bit, in just a second. So just remember, the shirts we have for the USC podcast, for Student Body Right USC podcast, and the Put On Raiders podcast, those shirts, the proceeds will go to help youth sports in Southern California. So you want to make sure you grab one of those shirts. And if you don't have one of those shirts, you got to grab some Lost in the Sauce gear from my man USC. USC Jay, fresh off the plane from Mobile, Alabama. We'll talk about his trip to the Senior Bowl and some other USC things that are on the horizon. Jay, how you doing today?
Man, it's all good, man. I'm happy to be back on with you, man, and I'm glad to connect back with you, man. And I know we'll announce what me and you gonna do coming up later on, probably.
Yes, yeah. So hang on for that announcement as well. So you just got back from Mobile, first time. I don't know if it was the first time at the Senior Bowl, but how was that experience for you?
It was my first time, man, and I'll be honest, it was a great experience, man. I was kind of, I kind of travel with people sometime, man, and I kind of went solo, man. I was like, I feel like Lost to the Sauce, but I felt good. I connected with a lot of people, man. Some players. I think I put one player up on my YouTube that played for the Minnesota Vikings cornerback. But it was a great experience, man. Just moving around. A lot of fans, a lot of Oregon fans, a lot of Ohio State fans, a lot of Michigan fans. It was kind of crazy, man. So it was a great experience for me.
A lot of big. It's hard to say it now. A lot of Big Ten.
A lot of Big Ten fans, man.
Big Ten fans. We're not used to saying that, but yeah, it's gonna be a lot of Big Ten fans as far as that goes. Let's just jump into the roster a little bit too, because I was able to. I mean, you got a press credential to go to that event. I was press credentialed to go to the Holiday Bowl, a while back, and. What are your thoughts about Miller Moss being that number one quarterback? I mean, right now, we all saw him, at some random park in Southern California. I think he was throwing with Jacoby Lane and some of the receivers.
I saw that. Yeah, that was dope.
Always good to see, them working in the offseason together. What are your thoughts about him being QB1?
I absolutely love it, man. What we saw in the Holiday Bowl, man. I mean, it was really. I knew that he had the potential, but, it's another thing when you actually go out there and compete and do it, especially against the number 16 team, total defense in the country, Louisville, to do it and to be that impressive and to see the way he distributed the ball. He kind of got it to everybody, man. Jacoby Lane, Deuce Robinson, Taj Washington. I feel very comfortable. I felt he was very efficient with Lincoln Riley's offense. I felt like he ran that offense to a T. I felt like also that he doesn't have the same athletic ability as a Caleb Williams. So I think that he had to really run it to, the way Lincoln Riley wanted him to run it. Opposed to Caleb Williams, he maybe audible some stuff and do some other things and move around. But I think that Miller absolutely just got it down the field, man.
Yeah, he did, and it was impressive as far as that goes. But they made some moves. They went to the transfer portal. You had an incoming class coming in. What do you feel like in that second transfer portal? What do you think that this team needs to kind of add to the roster?
I think we still need to add maybe one more interior player. I would like to see another defensive lineman. I think the secondary is absolutely good. You already know we got a guy from Oregon State, Arnold brother. We got Humphreys in the secondary cornerback. The Carlos Nicholson from Mississippi State cornerback, and then of course Ramsey at safety. So I think we're good in that area from the transfer portal. I just think one more interior player. We got Rakes, Isaiah Rakes from Texas A&M, and then we got the kid from Vanderbilt. So I think we good, but we just need maybe one more big defensive tackle, man. And I think we'll be set. And then one offensive lineman. I kind of feel comfortable if we just maybe two more players. Other people might say more, but I feel comfortable with maybe two more.
I agree. I think that they're heading in the right direction as far as that goes. But one guy who I think is making a real impact on this coaching staff, and we talked about D'Anton Land, Doug Belk, all these other guys, Coach Entz, but Coach Henny, man, like I mean, I cannot find a single bad, a single bad comment about him. DeMarco Farr was on was on a talk show the other day from Los Angeles Ram and talked about glowingly how USC really got one in Coach Henny. We thoughts about that acquisition because he really has, and he's been on the recruiting trail. That man's been every different city. I mean, so one of the best defensive line coaches in all of football, period, NFL or college.
Man, I totally agree with you, man. And just you look at the guys he coached though, and then look at the guys who are endorsing him. Like you look at Aaron Donald, you see him endorsing him, and then his other players that had possible opportunity to get Rookie of the Year. I mean, it starts off with that. The proof is in the pudding. You got your guys giving you praise when you actually left. I think that's speaking a whole lot of volumes. And then you couple that with just him going across to different cities, like you said, man. Every time I turn around, you look on Twitter, Eric Henderson is with a new player, man, in a different state. And then he's hitting multiple states, multiple schools within the state. And so I think with him, it's just absolutely, I think his work is speaking for him already and it's paying off.
Yeah, no question about it. This meeting with the SEC and Big Ten.
I think I'm gonna cover that, man. I'm getting ready to cover that.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think is gonna go? Because like as far as that goes, I mean, it came off the heels of the NIL investigation that they're having with Tennessee.
Yeah.
So, what do you feel like? I mean, is this going to be are they trying to do like an AFC, NFC thing, and then everybody else? Because I mean, because college football does, as much as those conferences run the league, run college football, they kind of still need the other schools, to fill out schedules for college football playoffs, stuff like that. Do they really want to have it just between Big Ten and SEC? Because I mean that could be an interesting situation there. What are your thoughts about that? With those talks,
it's becoming kind of like a monopoly situation, man. And I felt like honestly the SEC was going that way before. When Texas and Oklahoma initially went over there, and then of course the Big Ten had to make their moves, and so now you're seeing a situation where they're trying to protect it, everything that they have going on. But I felt like Tennessee was basically, other schools. If it was USC, I felt like it would be the investigation would be complete. I don't necessarily know if the backing will be the same way because I mean you got to think now that the Tennessee situation with the quarterback Nico happened. Now you're starting to see a whole unraveling of the NCAA. Why now? Just because it's an SEC school. So now you got Greg Sankey possibly. I'm just allegedly possibly going and reaching out to the Big Ten. I feel like it's kind of suspect. Why are they getting together? Why are we connecting with the SEC anyway? I'm not feeling that. Are you feeling that? I mean, for what reason? And so my thing is, I don't know if the SEC, Greg Sankey reached out to him, to the Big Ten president, commissioner, and they, have an agreement. But I'm totally not feeling it. I feel like it could be a monopoly situation. But hey, this is the landscape. This is the NCAA's fault for not putting any groundwork or putting any real rules and regulations into place. And now it's just everything's going crazy with the transfer portal and NIL.
I would say, I mean, I think it was last week, Jennifer Cohen, the new athletic director from USC, was talking about, their approach. And I remember I watched that video live and I'm looking in the comments and everybody was like, kind of getting on her in the comments. But I think what happened with Tennessee is the reason why USC is trying to take that slow and steady approach. Like we don't need to be like we're going in that direction. We don't need to be getting snagged for anything because when you it's USC, they come down twice as hard as anybody, right?
Right. And so I think our fans need to that message really needs to be relayed to the fans because a lot of them are, we're getting out recruited by this school. We're getting out recruited by that school. I'm not even going to mention the schools. I'm not even going to give them that type of honor. But the fact that they feel like we're a little behind an NIL right now. It appears that our approach, Jennifer Cohen and USC, their approach right now is kind of the right approach given what we're seeing right now, because we're really going into unknown territory right now.
Yep.
Nobody knows what type of rules are in place, and as a result, we don't know if we're violating or not. So it's like, you better be safe than sorry. And at the end of the day, we do have an NIL that will protect you. Once you get there, you can reap the benefits. We're just not going to do the pay for play thing, and that's the biggest difference. But USC has one of the best NILs around.
Yeah, as far as that goes, yeah. So the transfer portal, the first go around, I'm looking at a guy like Jaden Maeva. He's freshman at UNLV. Do you feel like even though, like, I think it'd be hard for him, even though he has great physical ability, I think it would be hard for him to unseat Miller Moss, right, this year. But do you feel like there'll be some packages for him, because he can do a whole lot of things on the football field?
Man, I watched him play, man. You're talking about a kid that's what, 6'5", 230.
Yeah.
He put up over 3,000 yards as a freshman.
Yes.
And, he played very, very well against a Big 12 team, Kansas. I feel like Miller Moss is that guy, but I do think there are going to be some packages, and I think it's going to be a battle. I mean, I don't think he's the guy that's going to come in there and lay down by no means. I mean, I think he's going to really push Miller Moss all the way, but I do think, given the way Miller played and his leadership ability, I do think Miller will get the nod, but it will be some different packages. He has that skill set to put packages in there.
Yeah, and I do think also, I mean, this will be a spring game you probably don't want to miss. Because I mean,
no doubt.
For anybody, any USC fan, you don't want to miss this spring game, because
it's competitive, man.
It's gonna be competitive. It's gonna be competitive, and I've seen the videos for competitive Fridays. USC is really trying to pump up the competitiveness as well. Not that they weren't doing it before, as far as that goes. So give me two guys in this transfer portal who they came over from. Give me a guy who's like the most intriguing guy, and a guy who I think is going to be the biggest impact. But my more intriguing guy is the Jaden Richardson guy from Tufts. And he kind of intrigues me.
Oh man, yeah.
He's so much ability.
6'3", and it's not like he can't play, man. If you looked at his film, he did like a one-hit catch that was incredible. Yeah, I would probably agree with you on that. He might be the most intriguing guy, but then I think I will say 1A and 1B, maybe Isaiah Rakes too, because he was, Texas A&M recruited very, very well, and he was behind some big time guys. You had guys like Walter Nolan, so I would say Isaiah Rakes. He's intriguing because if he can be as impactful as we think he can next to Bear Alexander, I think that could be a very intriguing idea, and I think. We can just go in and pencil guys like Ramsey in, man. What he did at UCLA as a freshman.
Yeah.
I mean, he's out of Sierra Canyon, man. That dude is straight up a baller. So those two right there, intriguing, and the other guy that I can pencil in.
Yeah, as far as that goes.
Yeah.
So NIL, we talked about that as well, incoming freshmen. Of the guys who left, who if you could do a, how you mess up on Madden and you reset the game. If you could reset on one of these guys who are leaving, who left, but like Romello Height or Singer or Foreman, if you can have one of those guys back, who would you take back?
Wow, that's a great question, man. That's a great question. A couple guys come to my mind right now. One is Raleek Brown. He comes to my mind just because he's so versatile. I think we possibly could have maybe discovered a little bit more with him and utilized him a little bit more if we just would have. But I'm not Lincoln Riley. I can't question the offensive guy. And then, wow, man, I love what Romello Height did last year. I thought he was.
That's the one guy. That's the one guy. That's the one guy. That's the one guy. That's the one guy.
He balled out, man. He showed flashes, and I'm just like, dang, man. You kind of wish you would have kept a guy like him. I love Corey. I got love for Corey, but Romello really showed some flashes, man.
And I think he got hurt a little bit, and I feel like him off the edge in this. I mean, watching the U.S., it's kind of gross. I'm happy we got Dante Lynn, but it's kind of gross to have to go through all the UCLA footage to look at it. But I mean, all those guys who stand up on the edge, like him on the edge, he's so long. I mean, I really feel like, maybe it was not shut, who knows? But I thought I was excited to see what he would do in this defense. So All right.
Man, I totally agree with you, man.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
no question about it. So, what I think the one announcement we want to make on the show, make on the show is that I've been doing my show for a while. USCJ is gonna do it. We're gonna break when something breaks. He's always on. We're gonna try to do this once a month, right? So once a month, try to get together and do a show here. We are both we're both doing really good jobs helping y'all with the USC coverage. I'm excited about the opportunity to work with Jay here, and I'm pumped up for it. We're gonna try to bring all kind of stuff to it. So I don't know if you have anything if you have anything to say, but I'm really excited about the opportunities to do this with you, man.
Man, hey, absolutely, man. And one thing I tell everybody, man, this is the Trojan family is one big family, man, and it's one big pie, and it's enough pieces for everybody to eat, man. So look, everybody that's watching this channel, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Those who see this video, subscribe to the channel, because me and him, we're getting ready to collab, man. And this is my brother, and I don't mind filling in and helping out with him, man. And he's gonna do the same thing with me, man. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. He's putting out good content. He's doing a double whammy, man. He's doing the Raiders and he's doing my other team. But I love the Raiders, but I'm so involved in this now to where I can't even focus on nothing else. But I don't even know how you do it, to be honest with you. But
well,
but you be getting it.
I would say if I were you, after watching who the Raiders just hired for offensive coordinator, I would just do as much USC content as you can.
Let me ask you this. Yes.
Oh my God.
Hey, he did it to us with. Well, I'm not even about to go there.
We're all good. Right? So once in a while, we're going to show out to you. I want to thank CJ for coming out. So listen, the Lost in the Sauce apparel. Make sure you grab that. And then for Raider fans, for USC fans, we have the t-shirts for you. Got sweatshirts for you. DM me if you want to do that. And then also, like I said, the proceeds will go to help some kids play sports. Because I know all this love we have for SC and the Raiders or any other sport all started from us playing as a kid. So let's make sure we give back a little bit.
Absolutely.
All right, Jay. Take care, brother.
All right, big dog. Fight on, man.
Fight on. There we go.